Welcome everybody. My name is Jos Bergman and I'm working for Technology2Enjoy as a PeopleSoft consultant. And today I would like to give you a demo about PeopleSoft Fluid Expense and Approvals. What is PeopleSoft Fluid Expense and Approvals? With the Fluid user interface, you can enter an expense report on any device, whether it is a PC, tablet, or smartphone. As a manager, you can also approve the expenses on any device. In the live demo, we're going to create an expense on a smartphone. We're going to take a picture of the receipt and attach it to the expense. And we're going to approve the expense on a smartphone as a manager. Let's go to my smartphone to start with the demo. PeopleSoft doesn't have an app. Everything is done through the browser. And you have to be connected to with VPN to access your company network, or the PeopleSoft portal has to be opened up to the public internet. In this case, I'm connected with VPN to my PeopleSoft demo environment. So let's continue with the demo, and let me grab my smartphone and let me open up the Chrome browser. And let me open up I've bookmarked my PeopleSoft environment in the bookmarks, the URL. So let's open it here. I'm going to go to my bookmarks and then opening up my PeopleSoft environment. And now it opens up the login screen, and let's log in. And now we arrive in the landing page, the employee self-service, where you have all your self-service tiles. And let's go ahead and create an expense report. So I'm going to click on the expense tile. And then I'm going to click on create expense report. And then let me click on create expense. And then add expense. And click on the expense line. And now we can select an expense type. For example, breakfast. And then let's say my breakfast was $10. Oh, $10. And the expense location was, for example, Albany, New York. And now, let's see here. We can also attach a receipt. Let me click on attach receipt here. And then add attachment. And then click on my device. And then I'm going to make a picture of my receipt. So I'm going to hit the action camera. And then I've put my receipt here. And let me make a picture of this receipt. Here we go. And let's see here. Now I'm happy with the picture, so I'm going to click on OK, and that will take me back to PeopleSoft, and you can see that the picture is there. So I will click on upload, and now it's uploaded. Click on done, and click on done again. Attachments have been saved, and now I can save it, save the expense, and I can go to review and submit, and then here I can review it all. I see my report ID, it's pending, the approval status, so I'm going to hit submit. And then I submit it with the certification that everything is accurate and complies with the expense policy. And now my expense report is submitted. So I can actually, for example, I can return to home. And then, for example, if I open up the expense tile again, then I can open up my expense reports here. And then you can see the expense reports that are awaiting approval. And then here you see the expense report 147 that I just submitted for approval, and my manager is William Scott. And the amount is for $10. So now it's submitted to my manager. So now we can log in as a manager to approve my expense. So I'm going to sign out. Now let's log in as a manager, as my manager. So let's log in with here. Sign in. And then I'm going to go to my approval style as a manager. This is the fluid approvals, which is the replacement for the classic work list. It's now called fluid approvals. And as a manager, I have all my pending transactions here that I need to approve. I can open up the bar on the left so that you see it you see it sorted by transaction type. I've got expenses to approve, journals to approve, and suppliers to approve. In this case, as a manager, I want to approve the expense report submitted by my direct reports. So I'm going to open up the expense report, and I'm going to open it. And here we see it's submitted by my employee, Kenneth Schumacher, for $10. And I see it's for breakfast for $10. And I also see here, the I can go into the line details as well. I can see the location, and I can also view the attachments. So let's take a look at the receipt. Click on the picture. And it's opening a little bit slower because that's because of the the WebEx. The WebEx there's a delay in the WebEx. It's actually already opened up. The receipt is already opened up on my smartphone, but there's a delay in the WebEx connection. So, but it opens up very quickly. So here's the receipt. So I'm happy with this. So I'm going to close this browser. I'll return to the other browser. So I'm happy with the receipt. I'm going to close this. And then I can also see, I see that there are exceptions and risks. And, that's my mistake. I accidentally updated the page. Let me go back here. So I see that there are exceptions and risks. So let me click on the exception here. and I see that there's a duplicate. Apparently, for this demo, I did some testing before, so I had already created another expense for the same amount on the same day. So the system records a duplicate then, but that's okay. I'm happy with this. So I'm going to go back to the approval, and I'm happy with this. So I'm going to approve the expense report. Oh, sorry, I have to select the line, of course. Its line approval is turned on. So I'm going to approve all the lines. Click on approve. And then I can put in a comment, submit. And now the expense report is approved. And I can actually, as a manager, I can go, I can open up my approval history as well. By clicking on the actions, the three dots, the actions list on the right upper side of the page where you see those three dots. That's where you can open up your action list with all your other shortcuts to the home page and etc. and your preferences. In this case, I'm opening up approvals history, and as a manager, I can see all my approvals here that I've approved in the past. So I also have an audit trail and a history. And then I can also return back to my home page here, as you can see. And that basically concludes this short demo about fluid expense and fluid approvals.